community college, in my estimation, is uniquely positioned to be a great problem solver here.
These folks have come from all over the state, and their presentations, coupled with Jane's presentation and your great questions and thoughts, I think really set the stage for our week of engagement.
The students who come to the community college are by far the most diverse students who enter the doors of higher education.
I think it really does help if you have data-driven information to base your decisions on, and I think our Achieve the Dream program here is really set up well to do that.
We must support student success in every way we can possibly think of, and we must think about this together with our partners.
More than anything, I want to thank you for the work you're going to do after I leave and after this day is over and tomorrow is over and next week, where you really begin to take this into action and scalable, sustainable change that will make a difference for your students, because that's key.
In a global economy where the most valuable skill you can sell is your knowledge, a good education is no longer just a pathway to opportunity, it is a prerequisite.
I really wanna, at the beginning, since I came here at POC, I just wanna learn English, and then the teachers encouraged me to go to GED. I didn't have it, I mean, in my country. And at the beginning I was scared because I didn't know the language, you know. So thrilled to get accomplished in this, and it's more like for me, like proof that I can do this.
Ensure that every child has access to a complete and competitive education from the day they are born to the day they begin a career.
I totally think this is worth it. This is by far probably the best thing that I've done recently in my life, because it's given me so many opportunities and accomplishments that I didn't think that I could do at my age. You can't ask for anything better than to know that deep down that what you really want to do, you can do.
Right now, 3/4 of the fastest growing occupations require more than a high school diploma. And yet just over half of our citizens have that level of education.
Welding has done wonders for me. I've gotten a great job from it. It's given me direction in life. I want to go on to UIC's engineering program one day and be the guy that designs the welders or designs the process used to weld. You know, I want to go that far with this, and that's something I never had imagined that I would want back in fall of '07. So I need to thank everybody here at Harper, Governor Quinn, and everybody around today for the opportunity that they've given me in life and the places I'm going to take this opportunity. So thank you very much.
It's critical that community colleges are sitting at the table with us, that we hear their voice, they hear our voice, and it's the businesses also. When you look at what Metro Chicago boards have done with community colleges, we host annual, if not biannual, events with the presidents to, again, hear the voice, listen, and put together some collaborative efforts among the community colleges as a whole.
Climbing up on Salisbury Hill, I could see the city light.
Across the country, it seems that community colleges are suddenly on everyone's radar as leaders, from the White House to the State House to the schoolhouse to our communities, our business leaders. All are seeking the assistance of community colleges in meeting some of the nation's most pressing priorities.
This afternoon at lunch and over the course of the last 4 months articulate a very similar perspective. I think that's going to be really healthy for us as we continue to work together in this partnership. Because the only way for us to truly create a seamless P20 program and educational system is for us to be consistent with what our goals, our focus, and our definition of student success is.
It is our responsibility as lawmakers and as educators to make the system work.
We need to embrace a broader agenda, and that broader agenda is about access, it's about quality, and it's about completion. It's about getting more students not only to our college, but through our college in really successful ways. The challenge is right now we're not doing so well with that. Nationally, only about half of students that start college in this country finish, and it goes down to about 9% if you're talking about first-generation low-income students. We have been laser focused on access and enrollment. It has been the dominant conversation. It's how we structured our policies, our procedures, and our practices. We have been deeply committed to opening the doors of higher education to as many populations as we possibly can. And by the way, we've done an amazing job. The challenge is we have not done equally as good with a success agenda in terms of getting people across the stage with some kind of credential, some kind of degree. And why that's a problem today, and why the Bill and Melinda Gates in particular Foundation is really interested in this topic, is if you look at opportunity in this country today, talking about 2010, the pathway to possibility is different than it was 30 to 40 years ago. The pathway to possibility, especially out of poverty, we care deeply about low-income students in particular, and what our data shows, this is the hardest point. Intergenerational poverty has never been higher. The intergenerational transmission of poverty has never been higher than it is today. Meaning you've never been more likely to die poor if you were born poor than right now. Is that a problem? Yeah. Do you know what the single biggest disruptor of that cycle of poverty is today? Yeah, it's not just education, it's a post-secondary credential with some kind of labor market value. Certificate, diploma, degree, and the kind of work that you all do. The reason the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is deeply interested in doubling the numbers of low-income young adults that get these kind of credentials, it's a game changer. It completely changes the pathway of possibility for their lives. And especially that 16 to 26-year-old cohort, it not only changes it for them, it changes it for their kids, for their relatives, for their parents sometimes. It's this kind of multiplier effect. And why we're so focused on this conversation around completion is because we know you share this passion. You're about this idea of giving people a pathway to possibilities.
Every American will need to get more than a high school diploma. And dropping out of high school is no longer an option. It's not just quitting on yourself, it's quitting on your country. And this country needs and values the talents of every American.
Many people in community colleges will say to us, and legitimately, not all of our students come here to persist or to graduate. And that will be true. They will legitimately say to us that there are other important outcomes of community college education, and that will be true. Nonetheless, we need to turn our attention to talking with our students about the importance of graduation. And most importantly, we need to turn our attention to the increasing evidence about what really matters in promoting higher levels of student persistence, student learning, and student attainment of college-level certificates and degrees.
2020, America will once again have the highest proportion of college graduates in the world. That is a goal we can meet.
It helped me learn more about what I have to do to focus in the classroom, out of the classroom, and do what I need to do in the classroom. Starting the fall semester, I think I had a lot more confidence because I was going into college kind of iffy, like I'm not sure, is it going to be harder, stuff like that. And like going through the bridge program, it made me like have more confidence. I always like have struggles on tests, and like that really helped like my test scores, especially on like the comp test. It made me realize that I should go further on to a bachelor's or master's, maybe a doctorate, you know. Staff, teachers, students, I just like the whole idea about Harper.
The Summer Choice Program, it was a program that I got into as a senior in high school, and I got a letter sent home saying, you know, I was one of the lucky people to be in this program. After the choice program, I was able to move up into English 101. And for math, I went into Math 140, which is a decent math, but I wanted to score higher. And at the end of the choice program, I ended up getting to Math 200, which is Calc 1. They'll find a resource. They want you to succeed.
We cannot continue to measure ourselves by how many students enroll at William Rainey Harper College, but rather how many students are successful at William Rainey Harper College.